Have you ever wondered what it would be like to outwit the devil himself? Tonight, we'll journey into a folktale from the Balkans, a story about courage, cleverness, and the strength of fate. So, settle in, because this tale begins in the humblest of places and ends in the most surprising of ways. Long ago, in a village tucked between rolling green hills and deep whispering forests, a poor couple welcomed a son into the world. He was a bright-eyed child with laughter like music. But as he took his first breath, a wise old woman passing through the village peered at him and gasped. "This boy," she said, "is born under a lucky star. Someday he will marry the king's daughter." The villagers laughed at the idea. A poor boy, the son of a woodcutter, marrying a princess? Impossible. Yet the words of the old woman spread, and soon they reached the ears of the king himself. The king, proud and suspicious, scowled. "No common boy will ever wed my daughter. I'll see to that." The child grew, healthy and happy, playing by the riverside and chasing butterflies in the meadows. But when he was only a few years old, the jealous king ordered a soldier to take the boy away, to cast him into the river so fate could be drowned. The soldier, pity in his heart, could not bring himself to harm the child. Instead, he placed the boy in a sturdy basket and set him gently upon the river, whispering, "May the waters carry you to safety." The river shimmered like silver under the sunlight, carrying the basket past fields, forests, and villages, until at last it came to rest near the mill of a kind old woman. The miller's wife discovered the basket and gasped. "A baby! Left to the river's mercy!" She and her husband raised the child as their own, never knowing his destined future. Years passed, and the boy grew into a strong and clever youth. He worked at the mill, carried sacks of grain, and laughed easily, always cheerful. Everyone loved him. But fate, as it always does in folk tales, had not forgotten its promise. One day, while traveling through the land, the young man met the princess. She was kind, with eyes as bright as spring skies. And just as the wise woman had foretold, their hearts were drawn together at once. When the king discovered this, his anger knew no bounds. "So the prophecy dares to come true," he thundered. "Very well, boy, you may marry my daughter, but only if you bring me 3 hairs from the beard of the devil himself." This was the twist of fate, the impossible task meant to doom the young man. Yet instead of despairing, he smiled. "If that is what you ask, Majesty, then that is what I shall do." With courage in his heart, he set off on the long road that wound through valleys, across rivers, and into forests darker than night. After many days, he came upon a town where the fountain had dried. The people begged him, "If you go to the devil's lair, ask why our fountain no longer flows." The young man promised he would. Farther along, he reached another town where an orchard of golden apples bore no fruit. The townsfolk pleaded, "If you are to see the devil, ask why our tree no longer blooms." Again, he promised. Still farther, he met a ferryman on a wide, endless river. The man sighed, "If you go to the devil, ask how I may be freed from this eternal task of rowing." And the youth agreed. At last, after many weary miles, he reached the gates of the underworld. The air was hot as fire, and the earth trembled under his feet. There he met the devil's grandmother, an old woman with eyes wise and weary, who took pity on him. "My boy," she whispered, "the devil will not give you his hairs willingly, but I will help you. Hide beneath this great cauldron, and I shall ask the questions for you when he sleeps." That night, the devil returned, his steps heavy, his beard black as midnight, and his breath hot like smoke. After he had eaten his fill, he laid his head upon his grandmother's lap and dozed. Softly, she plucked 1 golden hair from his beard. He growled in his sleep. "What was that?" he muttered. Nothing, my child," she soothed. "I was dreaming of a town whose fountain had run dry. Tell me, do you know why?" The devil grumbled, "Because a toad sits beneath the fountain stone. If they kill it, the waters will flow again." The grandmother waited until he slept deeply once more. Then she pulled a second hair. The devil roared in his slumber. "What now?" "Oh, nothing, my child. Only a dream of a golden apple tree that bears no fruit. Do you know why?" The devil snarled. "Because beneath its roots lies a hidden treasure. Remove it, and the tree will bloom again." When his snores thundered again, the grandmother quickly plucked the third hair. The devil woke with a furious snarl. "What are you doing, old woman?" She laughed softly. "Only dreaming of a poor ferryman who rose without end. What fate binds him?" The devil snorted. "Fool! He need only hand his oar to another, and he will be free." And with that, he drifted back into slumber. By dawn, the grandmother handed the youth the 3 golden hairs. "Go, child. Your fate is brighter than even the devil can dim." He thanked her with all his heart and began his journey home. Along the way, he shared the devil's secrets. To the first town, he revealed the toad beneath the fountain. When it was slain, water burst forth, sparkling and sweet, and the townsfolk gave him 2 donkeys laden with gold. To the second town, he told of the treasure beneath the apple tree. When it was unearthed, the tree bloomed with golden fruit once more, and they too filled his bags with riches. To the ferryman, he shared the secret, and the ferryman, with tears in his eyes, pressed the oar into the youth's hands, finally free. When the youth returned to the king, he laid the 3 golden hairs upon the table. The king's eyes widened with disbelief. Then he revealed his wagons of gold and treasure, gifts from grateful townsfolk. The king's greed overcame him. He thought, "If this boy gained such riches on the road to the devil, then why not I?" So he seized the oar from the ferryman and hurried across the river, eager for more wealth. But the ferryman, now free, stepped ashore. And the king, well, the king still rose to this very day, ferrying souls across that dark river. And the youth? He wed the princess, just as fate had foretold. Together they ruled wisely and kindly, never forgetting the journey that had tested courage, wit, and faith. Greed leads even kings to ruin, but courage and kindness light the path to true fortune. And that, dear friends, was the 3 hairs from the devil's beard. If you enjoyed this tale of courage and wit, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more magical folk tales. And be sure to press the bell icon so you never miss a story. If you were asked to fetch 3 hairs from the devil's beard, what clever trick would you try? Share your ideas in the comments. I'd love to hear them.